You will be expected to know the differences in the various grades of 802.11 wireless standards. So I'm just going to present them to you in this course, give you the information you need to remember, and this is one of those sets of data that you can just memorize and then write down on a little piece of paper when you get into the testing environment and then right before you actually kick off the exam. There are 4 IEEE wireless standards to know and get ready for the exam. First one is 802.11a. So 802.11a, this came around in about 1999. It operates in the 5 gigahertz radio spectrum. The network rated speed was 54 megabits per second, but only about half of that is what anybody ever got. So you were somewhere down around 27 megabits, and there was some problems with reception and interference, and you had a range of about 100 feet. And the closer you got to 100 feet, the worse and worse and worse reception got on that and your network speed. 802.11b is what really kind of kicked the whole wireless deal off. It came out in 1999, about the same year. This operated in the 2.4 gigahertz radio spectrum, had a lot less interference. Now the network rated speed was 11 megabits per second. Again, only about half of that is usually obtained, and it still had the range of 100 feet, but believe it or not, this one seemed faster, seemed more stable, seemed more reliable than the A. Then 802.11g appeared in 2003, and this one was an updated version of 802.11b. It operates in the 2.4 gigahertz radio spectrum, and notice what happened to our speed here. The network rated speed on G is 54 megabits per second. Now again, only about half of that's usually obtained, but we were in the 2.4 gigahertz radio spectrum, and it was pretty clean, and the range was still 100 feet, 30 meters, but this one really started to feel pretty good. Then the big one here, 802.11n, came along, and this operates in the 5 gigahertz radio spectrum. Notice the network rated speed 300 megabits per second, and it's marketed that it can reach up to 600 megabits per second. I've never seen that happening, but the range on this, notice our range got a little stronger, 165 feet or 50 meters, and 802.11n really captured a lot of attention when it appeared. So that's the 4 wireless standards you need to know. Just memorize 802.11a, b, g, and n, the radio spectrum they worked in, the network rated speed, and their range. The range is easy to remember. They're all 100 feet except for n, and it's 165. And also keep in mind, when they're talking about these standards, you could see questions on the exam that some days the wireless signal seems to go farther than others. Keep in mind, the wireless standards are based in open air. So if you've got walls, closed doors, lots of people, anything that's density that the signal has to go through, the range starts to drop off pretty dramatically. Okay, so anyway, that's the 4 wireless standards you need to know for the A+ exam.